Boop. 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 All right. Check, check, check. I'm probably crackling, if I had to guess. I've been having a lot of issues with that lately. Last OBS update broke a lot of things. My camera is still broken, for those of you who are wondering. I saw it flashing green earlier. I imagine it will flash green at some point in time. I've correlated it to sound. So, if I get loud at any point during this stream, there's a very good chance the webcam will flicker for some reason. And it's about pitch as well. So I don't know what's causing it, in all honesty. It's just been an ongoing issue. It's been a very much ongoing issue. Let me go ahead and post the links. Boop. And boop. Okay. There we go. Hello everybody, welcome on in. Hope you're all doing well. Ads will be starting here in a minute, but after that you guys should have no ads within an hour, which will be awesome. Zender, you're probably viewing it through the mobile app. Twitch has a vertical stream output. If you tap your screen, there should be like switch to horizontal or switch to classic or classic view button. You can watch it through that, and it should be back to normal. That's my guess. Nathan, thanks for sending your taxes. Congrats on grabbing first. Zender, hello, welcome on in. Jams, hi, how are you doing? Let's quickly adjust the sound here. Turn on the music. Maybe turn up the volume too. Go with that. That's a little loud. Okay. Drop it down maybe to here. Okay, we'll roll with that. All right, I need my helmet, and let's go ahead and talk about what we're getting up to. Also, I guess I should kind of show you guys what we did since Tuesday. I spent some time today, I guess. Yeah, it would have been today. Or was it today? Maybe it was yesterday. It was last night. It was last night that I did this. I spent some time texture variating and trying to get some gradient, kind of. And it's not terrible. I think it could be better, especially on the upper levels. But down here on the bottom, it's not too bad. You can kind of see where we were going with it. I might add some andesite into the mix just a little bit because I feel like it needs one more block somewhere in it. But this is where I got with it. It looks pretty okay, I think. It's better than it was with just plain cobblestone, I think. And it's a slightly different build style than I've ever done before. I haven't really ever messed with gradients. I always felt like they were kind of not for me. So this isn't terrible. It's not awful. I might still do something else, though, because I feel like the logs aren't pronounced enough. So I may need to scoot them out one, which is going to kind of mess with some things. But we'll get there when we get there and see what ends up needing to happen. The problem is I don't want to do the wrong step here, and the right thing to do would be to tear it all down and build it again, but with the logs protruding out a little bit more. But that's a lot of work, and I don't really want to do that because that would be like another 3 hours to tear it all down and put it back up again. So this is what we're doing for today, is we're just gonna let it set. But I do have something we do need to work on, which is up here. Up here, we need to extend the wall out, so I'm going to do something with the logs right about there. And it'll actually extend out that way into the mountainside. And then we'll be actually filling in the dirt so that this retaining wall is actually retaining something. We'll also do a similar thing over here from that log out to... I don't really want to go all the way, but we could, technically, because I do want to do some stuff along this hillside, along with up here on the actual mountain. So I'm going to hold off on deciding the finality of this wall right here, but I do know for certain that this wall back here will at least go back into the mountain. So we'll go ahead and mess with that. Play Block Tales. Bro, it will help new people or people who are not popular. I'm going to play what I want to play. That's what I'm going to do. I'm eating some nice spicy chicken sandwiches right now. Nice. Spicy chicken. I do like some of that sometimes. I've been really... I was really a fan of the hot honey chicken that people were doing all the time recently. And then they, I think, all dropped it because everybody was doing it. And they're like, it's not unique anymore. And now nobody's doing it. I think. I don't know that to be 100% certain. But I've not seen it as much anywhere else. And it makes me really sad. Imagine getting thanks and rickrolled in 2026. What? I know what rickroll is, but I'm confused. Panda, welcome on in. Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. It was never real. I have no clue what we were talking about. Hi, hello, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. What are you going for? This is my forever world. So we are building right now in a cave. We're doing a cave base. Can we stop flashing? Thank you. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of going with a more dwarf kind of style, hopefully. It's not like absolutely seeping in that style yet, but I have some ideas to kind of help bring it to life a little bit more. Right now it's just very, very basic stuff because I've got very, very basic stuff. As we get further into gameplay, I'm hoping that we'll probably have new blocks, we'll have better tools, so that we can do even more with it. But so far, it's not awful. I do want to add more depth to the walls. That's like the big thing. But right now, I'm just going to be working in this spot over here. I wish I could get free PC. Yo, dude, me too. Me too. 2 minutes of ads. That's what, 6 or 7 ads. I'm gonna do something. The pain. Also, I'm loving the design. I think it's starting to shape up well. I definitely think it's a lot better than it was. That's the big thing. But I agree and I appreciate it. Oh, THX. I see. Yeah. Okay, you're talking about the production company. I'm following. You decided it's a game, and once you said Roblox, you lost me. I'm sorry, dude. I will not play Roblox. A 21-year-old has no business on Roblox. You know, the game was not made for my age group, and people that do play in my age group, a lot of them are questionable at best. There's nothing wrong with you guys liking Roblox, and there's nothing wrong with somebody who's already old, or who played it as a kid, playing it later on in life. But if you start playing Roblox at the age of 21, it's questionable at best. That's just my opinion, though. Boop. Okay, what are we doing? I came here for a reason. Logs. I needed those. We need a couple of shovels. And we need... I think we're good, okay. I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. Nikita, welcome on in. Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for Lurk Panda. I appreciate it. Personally, I'd strip the logs so they don't blend in with the trees, but I'm a noob. Don't listen to me. No, I think you're right. There's a very good chance that we end up stripping them, but I want to make sure that we actually keep the logs before I do anything to them, because I want to make sure once they're stripped, there's no putting the bark back on. So I just want to make sure that that's what we actually do before we... Oh, it's laggy. Oh. Okay. It's fine. We're chilling. It's okay. Water Ghost, welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. And happy birthday. I hope you're having a good birthday. And we'll catch you another time. But you're all good, dude. You're all good. Cinder, thank you for the candy. I will grab that here in a second. Let me sleep first, though. Ba-ba-ba. Double figures now. You're getting old. Crazy. So, I can give, like, some spoilers to you guys since you're on stream. That's kind of one of the benefits of being on stream. So, let me come back up here. I'll grab that candy, and then I'll start explaining some stuff. So, in the meantime, just enjoy this beautiful view right here, okay? How's everybody's day been, though? I've had... It feels like it should have been a long day, but I really don't remember much of today at all, to be entirely honest with you guys. I don't know what I did. I guess I recorded... Did I record a video today? Did I... Was that today or yesterday? I'm sorry, I don't remember. March 5th, which was today at 3:16 p.m. I recorded part of the video today. That's what I did. I did that, I edited a little bit, and then I also spent time eating. I slept a little bit. I laid on the floor for about an hour. And now we're here. Pretty cool, right? Trying to crisscross. Not working out too hot. There we go. Okay. Bro did one productive thing, yeah, laying on the floor. That's what I did. That's all I did. No, I did shower. I did clean a little bit in the room, but it's not very clean. I still got a lot more to go. It's just been a very slow process in general. But I'm gonna get around to it, okay, guys? Trust me. Trust me. Just, you gotta trust me on everything. Let's start with chopping down the trees that are in the way here. So anything that's below this cobblestone needs to go. Including the trees that are above the cobblestone. Those all need to go. I'm also going to clear out some trees that are near the cobblestone, so probably up to here, these trees can go. And then we'll see where that takes us. Okay. So some spoilers for you guys. Let's see. In terms of progress, for the next episode, you're already looking at it. But we already did a lot of this progress on a stream, so it's not like there's going to be anything super new there. But what you will see is the episode after this episode coming out this weekend. I'm planning on there being a little bit of a layout. This can go. This can definitely go. I'm planning on trying to lay out a slightly larger build. Ideally, I would like to get an idea of where we're building in this mountain, because I want to do a forge, like a proper, like, big forge, where some sort of mythical weapon would be kind of built. You know, it would be world renowned kind of deal here. So I was kind of thinking from this staircase here, you could have this be like a platform of some sort. I haven't decided if I want it to be dirt or if I want it to be stone. So we're going to start with dirt. I can always dig it back up later. But we're going to start with it being dirt. And then eventually I might do a staircase up. And it'll come up to here. There'll be like a tunnel right through this mountain. And I'm actually going to make it look a lot more pretty. It'll actually be terraformed with, you know, stone and dirt. So it looks like cliffs, and there'll be a proper tunnel going through it. And then over here, I'm kind of thinking there will be like a pretty large structure. And I haven't sketched it all out in my head yet, but I've got some basic ideas of how this forge might be powered, what sort of materials they would use to build these weapons and tools and armor, and how they might possibly defend it from people who would have less than ideal intentions with the forgeries. So, or smith area, the forge. Forgery is when you steal, well, not steal, when you copy somebody's artwork illegally. Foraging is when you go out into the forest and pick berries. Forging is when you become a smith and you work with metal. Why do we have 3 words that sound very similar and yet are all very, very different? I don't know. Thank you for the hydrate, Cinder. I appreciate it. And a stretch as well. But can you name the next cow jam sandwich? Probably not, because I already have the other names picked out. You'll actually see those in the episode that comes out. But jam sandwich could be used for something else if we need some names. I do know there will be some opportunities for you guys to name stuff like fish and pets. Things that will lay around the world as world building pieces, and those will be around the world at all times at some point. The cows was, I only needed 3, so I already have the 3 picked out, but there's a chance of more animals. Do... I think I read everything, right? No. Procrastination streak just increased from 3 years, 3 months, and 4 days, 3 years, 3 months, and 5 days. Yeah. Procrastination is my middle name, dude. I'm sure it's not that bad in the moment. You can worry about your back afterwards. Besides, I could bring some pillows. Aw. He's the forge build like 5 streams ago when I asked. Yeah, there will be a lot of times where I repeat myself about builds, but I haven't talked in depth about the forge. I've mentioned wanting to build it, but I haven't told you guys like half the plans for it. This is the most I've said about it since. But yeah, I have talked about it before. I'm gonna steal your seat, bruh. Let's have a point redeem for it, 40k or something mid-range for naming things. Maybe. Possibly. I mean, there will be a point redeem for it, but I don't know what it'll be yet. There's a couple of different things that you guys will be able to name, and there's a couple of things that I have to do in order to make sure all of that works properly. But it will be something that we'll do. Where you guys will be able to name it and use your channel points for it. Sell your chair for 500,000 channel point. No way. No way. Not a shot. Dude. How much? Okay, my chair is old. It's falling apart. But these chairs cost like $100 at minimum. I hate how much they cost, but 500,000 channel points ain't gonna cover that. Sell the camera for 500,000. That might be worth it. I might recoup enough in ad revenue for that. Be funny. I actually need to do something soon for the camera because it is not getting any better. And nobody is taking blame for it, so I'm gonna assume it's on me to just fix it. And my solution of fixing it is just give up. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. Don't be like me, guys. Don't give up. Or do. I don't know. I can't be your boss. Sell a chair for 1 billion channel points, then that would definitely be worth it. I'd be rolling in the dough if you guys had a billion channel or a billion channel points, sorry. I know some people set like a really memed channel point reward that's like absurdly high. I've never actually done it myself, but I know there are a lot of them out there. Like for example, I think Asumavoid, he has one for like a face reveal, and I think it's whatever Twitch's maximum channel point is set to. I don't know if anybody will ever even be able to reach that. Like, even at a tier 3 sub, watching every single one of his streams, I don't know if you could ever reach it. But maybe you can, and I'm just underestimating the math. I don't know, or overestimating the math. It's just, there are a lot of crazy ones out there. I know that's one. Somebody has... A lot of family-friendly streamers will set it so that they'll start swearing if you hit the goal. I've seen some people who don't drink set it that they'll do a drinking stream if somebody redeems it. There's a lot of silly ones, but those are just some of the ones I can remember. I don't think Twitch has been around long enough for anyone to achieve 1 billion. That's a long time. It is. It definitely is. There's a calculator somewhere out there. I don't know it off the top of my head. But the rate of growth is... It takes a long time to get 100K. So, I mean... Think about it that way. You gotta get... Even just to 1 million would take a long time. Now, that being said, there are some people out there, even in my channel, who are at crazy amounts. Like Admiral. Admiral's got a lot of points. Like, I think he's got... It's over 500,000. I know that much. Or I'm pretty sure. At least. So, you know, if I still streamed as much and he still watched as much, he could probably have been at 1 million by now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go on the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. That won't be visible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're chilling. Okay. Let's go back here now. I'm gonna get some crabs straight from Chesapeake tomorrow. Ooh. Straight to the source. I like it. I might... This might be surprising. I don't know. I think I've said this before. I'm not a huge fan of seafood, in all honesty. I've just never really liked it. Which, it shocks a lot of people. Especially once you hear that I used to live in Florida. And I used to live on the East Coast, like... properly on the East Coast. Like... I'll just tell you guys, I live in Maryland. Like, you know, when you think about it that way, it's kind of like, huh, yeah, how did you not eat seafood while you lived there? I don't know. I don't know. I was just a kid, man. I'm sticking to that being my story, but I just never really grew a taste for it. I'm weird like that, I know. I love just burgers. I love beef, really, is the truth. I like steak. I like burgers. I like pork. I like rib. Chicken's fine. I've never had sheep, but I'm sure it's probably fine too. Deer is great. I've had elk. That's fine. But I've never really enjoyed seafood. I saw a redeem for 999,999,999. That's probably the limit then. If I had to guess. Don't underestimate the power of gambling. Sure didn't think of that. Yeah, you could easily achieve 1 billion. What do you mean? Just gamble on a 500 million yes or no question. I mean, the problem is you gotta get lucky enough that somebody is putting that much on the line, or enough people are putting that much on the line, and you're gonna inherit most of the pot and end up being correct. It would take a lot of time. But you could theoretically do it. 100k took me 6 to 8 months on tier 1. That sounds about right, yeah. Which is crazy. But it's true. It takes a while. I live in Maryland right now. I love just burgers. Beef burgers are better than chicken burgers. Oh, I 100% agree. Now, here's the thing. Like... I don't mind a chicken sandwich, like a fried chicken sandwich, but I don't particularly love, what do you call poultry? I don't really love ground poultry. You know, it's not a meat that I personally am huge on being ground up. So it's not my thing. At least the way I've always had it. But, you know, you can't go wrong with, like a proper fried chicken sandwich. That's some good stuff right there. But cheeseburger wins, hands down, in my opinion. Right, but sometimes people go all in on silly bets. Some people do that, yeah. I don't know. I personally wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't. But there are some people out there who definitely would go all in on some really silly bets that, against all odds, they put money in on it, and they put a lot of money in on it. In fact, all of it. And maybe there was a slight error in judgment that that person made, but personally, that wouldn't be me. I don't know what you guys are on about. Hello, Spicy. Welcome on in. Swifty, thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Same thing to you, Emmy. Hello, welcome on in. Hope you're all doing well. Let me pause so I can run that poll. Burgers or sandwiches? I'm gonna assume we'll not count a burger as a sandwich in this case. Just so you guys can burgers or sandwiches. Burger, sandwich. I've never had either of those in my life. There's no way. You're lying. You're lying. You're just lying. I'm sorry. Alright, there you go. I would personally say burger. There's literally no way you haven't gone to, like, McDonald's and had a cheeseburger there. Like, I'm not saying it's gotta be a good burger, but I am sure that you have had a burger at some point. You're just lying. You're not even lying well. You're just lying. No, I didn't do a 12-hour stream yet. I'll get around to it eventually. Trust me. Trust me. I'm going back to work tomorrow. Hey, congrats, Emmy. That's awesome. I know you've been looking forward to getting back to it, and there's a lot of roadblocks, but I'm glad that you're able to get back to it. And so explain sandwich. A sandwich. Yeah. How would you have not had, like, a sandwich? That's. Did you see the video I sent you yesterday? I don't think so. I don't believe so. But I might have. But I don't think so. I did, no way. The entirety of my lifetime, I've never had a burger or sandwich. Never had a McDonald's cheeseburger. You're lying. Nope. Not even cheese on toast. Look, you don't even like toast. French toast is good. Garlic bread, nope. How have you not? I refuse to believe you've never had a cheeseburger. You can't call yourself American and not have had a cheeseburger. There's no way. Like, literally, you go anywhere on 4th of July and they're making burgers and hot dogs. Have you at least had a hot dog? Like, some would argue that's a sandwich. I personally wouldn't. That's a little wild for me. But, you know, I find it hard to believe you've never had a burger. I'm sorry. I've had mini hot dogs. Okay. Okay. I'll at least accept that. But how have you not had a burger? Like, I've never had a pizza. Okay, you're straight up lying. There's no way. There is no way. I don't believe you. You're trolling. There's no shot. You're not, like, lactose intolerant, are you? Like, how often do you eat cheese? Like, I may have tried it once. There's just no way. I refuse to believe this. Like, what about at, like, school? They serve pizza at school, don't they? Have you not even had a pizza there? I may honestly be, I wouldn't know. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me you have never drank milk. Like, I'm gonna flip out. Bring my own lunch. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I would believe that. I would believe that. Bring my own lunch. I snack throughout the day, the school day, and then eat right after school. They're on milk joking. I'm joking. Okay. I was about to say, I at this point in time, I now choose to ban Swiftu for being a very, very big liar. What am I doing? This is not the right block. What's milk? Ask your mom. Sorry. There was a lot more to that joke that I was about to say, and I had to hold it. I mean, everyone has technically had milk at some point. Yeah, you're not wrong. More than likely. I need to sleep. I snack throughout the school day and then eat right after school. Homeboy is lying more than the world's biggest liar winner. Drinking very dainty water there, Greg? I'm actually almost out of water. I don't know why I didn't fill it up before I started stream, but I'm like almost out. It's very, very little. I can't have milk anymore, and the fam is eating pizza. Very sad. Oof. Oof. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Emmy. You drank the water with Pinky Extended. Oh, yes. Yes. I don't know where the habit came from, but at some point in time as a kid, I started drinking with my Pinky Extended, and people made fun of me, but I didn't stop. Like, I did it. And it stuck. I still do it even when I'm out eating. It's just... I guess it's just how I am at this point. I've accidentally become British. Okay. It's cool and fancy. It's because we have elegance. We can go with that, yeah, we can definitely roll with that explanation, it works. Okay, how's that look? It looks like a wall. That's perfect. It looks the part. You should do a hardcore world. At some point in time, I actually do want to start one. I have a couple of ideas. Just a few. I'm not gonna, like, divulge that at all, because it would require me to throw some people under the bus. And as much as I love to do that, I want to see if this actually happens or not. And the best way to do that is to not tell you guys yet. Why do you have diamonds in your chest? That is a good question. I forgot. I went mining. I did some off-camera mining, guys. No joke, actually. Did go off-camera mining. Because I needed a bunch of tuff for this build. And so I have 15 deep slate diamond ore. I got it all down there. I can actually show you the exact spot I got it. It was right down here. Right here. It was in here. I got all the tuff out of this hole, And there was, like, a couple of diamonds there. There was a little bit... I think there's some up here or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot. Why is there no lighting? I feel like I'm getting called out for X-ray. I just want to say, I don't light up my caves. I don't know what's wrong with me. I never have. It feels like a waste of torches, because I'll never go back down. So I hold a torch in my offhand and use, dynamic lights. I'm a nerd, I know. But... well, that didn't work out. But this is just so much better. Like, I can walk around with it in my offhand and dig. That's so much better than wasting coal on torches. I'd rather leave the coal in the chest up there. And, where was this? Was this here? I guess. I don't know. I'd rather leave the coal in the chests and let it rot. The darn cave. I'll light it up eventually, trust. I gotta build mob farms and stuff. I asked if you saw my link apart part of my main playlist. I remember seeing part of it, I think, but I don't know if I saw all of it. I'll double check it tonight though. I'll double check. Looks like a wall. You stole my joke, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cats or dogs? Time to start some arguments. Go ahead, Admiral. If you want, you can run it, or you can just refund it. I'd like to hear your guys' debate on this. Actually, did I do the trees up here? Yeah, I did. Okay. We need dirt. I'm feeling very cheaty today. Cats or dogs? Poll is up, guys. Check it out. I'd like to hear your guys' arguments, actually, though. Cats? Okay, okay. If we go with what I'm not allergic to, then neither. That's fair. That is a fair statement there. If you weren't allergic to either of them, Wi-Fi taking a crap on your side, I guess so. That's what it looks like. I just can't be happy. That's what I've determined. The internet has determined that as well. I love my internet company. They're a very good internet company. You should use my internet company too, because you also want connection like me. If I start saying this is sponsored and I really love this company, they might possibly love me and give me good Wi-Fi now. Right? There we go. Okay. Dogs are 100% better. Cats, you don't have to walk them. Their poop is easier to clean. I could go on. I'd be a cat person if I wasn't allergic. See, I can agree with the cat thing to an extent, but cats, the problem is it's a 50-50. Either they love you and will be your best friend, or they will hate you and try to get out of the house and pretend that you are, like, the worst thing that ever happened to them. An annoying cat is better than an annoying dog, but well-trained dog is better than a well-trained cat. I could agree with that, Admiral. Dogs, in my opinion, are so much better. They poop in the house. I'd rather not have a poop-smelling house. That's fair as well. In the basement. Dogs won 3-2. Interesting. Okay, that was a lot closer than Burger or Standard. I love dogs, too. At this point, I would take what I could get. Blossom Bat, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I've never not had a dog in my life. Okay, that's fair. I've had both a dog and a cat. I don't know which one I would pick, honestly. Like, maintenance-wise right now, where I'm at in my life, a cat would probably be a lot easier. But I think a dog would be a lot more useful. Because you gotta think about the utility uses of a cat and a dog, okay? There's a certain amount of bonus charisma you gain by having a dog and being public about having a dog. You can be a lot more public about having a dog than a cat. Like, I could walk the dog. Walking a cat would draw some eyes. I don't know if it would draw eyes in a good way, though. That's the thing. A dog, on the other hand, you could walk around and people would be like, "Oh my goodness, can I pet your dog?" And then you can start talking to these people and learn about them and make friends and you know, possibly more than friends. And that's pretty cool, right? That's one of the nice things about dogs. Cats, on the other hand, at least where I live, I would not walk a cat. I would just not. I also find that they live a lot longer, which is one good thing about them, but it's also a bad thing. Cats living longer means it's a longer term commitment. Life can change in 15 years, you know? With a dog, there's, depending on which breed, you know, that there is always outside exceptions, but, you know, a cat can live 20 years, easy. A dog, that's a lot more rare. That's one of the big ones that I've thought about there is, you know, time-wise, in 15 years, you know, I'm gonna be in my 30s. My life is gonna be a lot different. 20 years, that's even more different. You know, I'm gonna be in my 40s. Do you imagine having to live with consequences that I made a choice of today when I'm 40 years old? I don't know if I could do that. Now, somebody else making a choice for me and doing that, that's fine. I'll allow it. You know, if she wants a cat, she can have a cat. Because it makes her happy. I don't know if I could do that to myself, though. I've never not had a dog in my life. You're back. Hey King, 8 months ago. I don't know, to be honest. To answer your question there, Spicy. I have had both. I liked the cat, but the cat made me feel ill. You can walk a cat. You can. You can. It's just, I would not. As somebody who's seen people walking their cat, it draws the wrong set of eyes. Usually I've found people don't want to walk up and say, "Can I pet your cat?" They want to take pictures and laugh at you, which is fine. Those aren't the people you want to attract anyway. But I think it's just that weird, at least where I live, that I don't know if it would be a good charisma strategy here. For me, personally. Also, I've been told I give off dog vibes, so I might be a little bit biased there as well. Bro wants a dog so you can get your girlfriend. Can I pet your cat? Also works. Problem fixed. Get both. Now you're talking, Nikita. Now you're talking. This is Neptune's Apprentice V2 on a different account because I may or may not have clicked log out by accident. Forgot my password. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, welcome on in on the on your new account. I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you. You give off bird vibes. That's crazy. I do not want a bird. There's a good chance if I got a pet bird, I'd be eating it the next day. Like, I'm sorry. Birds are like some of the most annoying creatures I've ever met. I can't handle them. If it works, you know. All's fair in love and war. I have a cat. It's a miracle I haven't killed any of my koi. That's very fair. Cats are menaces. Even my cat, he was an older cat. He was fine for the most part, but there were times he was a complete and total menace. Like, don't get me wrong. He could be very cute and lovable. He was very well trained. You know, he wasn't an awful cat. You know, he wasn't. he wasn't vicious and cruel. But there were days where he just was a menace. Or he was a complete and total idiot. That was another thing he did. Like, I don't know how that cat decided that he was going to eat so fast that he would throw it up. And he continually made that same mistake over and over and over again. But no, he did. Stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. I know not all cats are that way, but also he was really annoying sometimes because at night he would sit at the top of the stairs and howl. And if you were trying to sleep, he would do that, and it would be very, very loud because he would like to hear an echo or something. We don't know why he did that, in all honesty. There's like a couple of theories, but the truth of the matter was he just was loud, and that was kind of annoying. That being said, though, I've had a dog. Now, the dog usually would sleep through the night. My cat did not. He was very nocturnal. A little infant would survive better in the wild than that cat. That's probably true. The greed. I mean, dude, oh my goodness. He was so gluttonous. He'd follow you through the house, asking to be fed again. He would ask somebody different because he thought it would change the results. Don't forget to torch the inside unless you want mob spawner. I think that's a problem for future me. I meant to go make torches, but I'm already in the middle of placing dirt, so we'll just come back in a minute. I'm buying that bird to eat. So I made broccoli beef for dinner. It is very tasty. Ooh. I can understand that. That's fair. Children. Okay, children is a little different. There's payoff to it. Your children will hopefully live beyond your years. Like, there's always that risk that they won't. Sure. But you take care of your children, and you hope that maybe they'll help take care of you when you're older if you need it. The hope is always that you don't have to rely on them for that. Children will actually be good companions for you later on in your life as well. You know, obviously you should have friends your age. But one of the coolest things as a kid for me is the fact that I get to grow up and my parents are cool enough that I can be friends with them and it not be completely and totally weird. Like, they're still my parents. But also at the same time, like, I can actually have fun and do stuff with my parents. This is awesome. Nobody talks about that. It's pretty cool. They're a lot more versatile than pets too. You go into a Walmart with your pet where they're not supposed to be, you get a lot of people eyeing you. I don't have a huge issue if your pet is well behaved in Walmart. The problem is when they're not well behaved. Children, when they're in Walmart and they're not well behaved, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, I don't love that, but at least children are allowed to be in Walmart, you know? I will allow you to bring your child into Walmart, even if they are annoying. I'm gonna put a torch there, just preemptively. I'm gonna torch it, Nathan. I'm gonna torch it. Biblical levels of gluttony, greed, and deception. True. Most cats just seem to not like me, so they scratch me or like me so much the cat would end up scratching me anyway. The lose-lose situation. Dude, that is awful. I found that pets love me, and I don't know why. But every dog I've run into, every cat that I've run into, genuinely usually ends up loving me. There have been exceptions, but the vast majority of the case, I walk in and, you know, My friend is like, that never happens. My cat hates people. You'll probably never see him. Best friends with the cat by the time I leave. Same thing with the dog. They're like, my dog doesn't really like men, so, you know, just if the dog becomes a problem, I'll put him in a different room. No, dog's just fine. Dog loves me, dude. I can't help it. Pets genuinely love me. In fact, pets love me so much that when I go to my friend's house and I see they have a fish tank, I walk over to the fish tank and the fish will jump out of the aquarium into my hand so I can hold them. True story. I realized we were reaching a level there where I was like, you know what, let's just jump into absurdism here. Everything I said was true up until the fish. Actually, yeah, no, everything up until the fish is true. The fish, surprisingly enough, was not. I know. I can't believe the fish won't jump into my hands. My grandma's cat is in his soft attack phase, and it's so cute. Aww. I do miss having pets sometimes because they do silly things, and they're really nice to have around the house when you're doing nothing or you're by yourself. I'm not home alone a lot, but it does happen on occasion. And when I am, it's kind of like, there's nothing quite like walking around the house while you're alone, and you're just kind of like staring at the wall or trying to find something to do. I don't watch TV. I don't really, I mean, I do play video games by myself, but you know, there's nothing for me to do to distract myself a ton from the fact that I am just that alone sometimes. And it's like, man, that's depressing. That's wildly depressing, actually, now I say it out loud. But, you know, like, I could never live alone. That's what I've realized in my adult life. You know, I don't know how I would ever do it. So I really hope I don't have to. But, you know, if I keep doing content and I want to get deeper into it, if I wanted to get into more of the musical side of things as well, you know, I think the proper move would be to eventually move out and into my own place, because I can be a lot louder and I can do a lot more stuff with you guys without being chronically interrupted or interrupting other people with what they're doing, like sleeping. So it's something that's in the back of my head. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, and instead I can meet somebody wonderful instead, move in with them, and, well, get married and move in with them. That's what I want. The longest time I didn't think I'd make it with my cat. You know, for a completely different reason, same here, my cat refused to die. Like, for the longest time. He was ancient. Thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate it, Emmy. Thank you. Did I get myself a prize after tomorrow's shift for getting through tomorrow's shift? Absolutely. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Bad history with both cats and dogs, but I prefer dogs more. That's fair. I've not really had bad luck with either, except my sister's cat. He was a menace. He was an actual proper menace. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to address what Jam said. Getting Alzheimer's is legitimately my worst fear. That is fair. I can agree with that to an extent. You know, it's not a pleasant thought. Because especially if you've watched other people go through it, it's not, to me, it's not so much terrifying for myself, but it's more so terrifying for those around you, or around me, I guess, speaking for myself here. Because, you know, it's a terrifying thing, truthfully. The good news is, you know, for me, I look at it, I go, I'm not gonna really remember that I have it, because, you know, Alzheimer's, but you know, the people around me, they're gonna have to put up with that, and that's not fun. That's not fun. I need more cobblestone, so I'm just gonna make a stack of slabs, and it'll be good. He was a relic. You may already have it, because that's the second time you said that. Maybe you forgot you already said it. You know, when I search up Alzheimer's on Google and all the links are purple. I love that. Oh, I'm name tag. There it goes. I was like, uh-oh. It didn't flip me. Okay, how's that looking? Oop, there we go. Yeah, you know, that's not bad. That actually really does tie it together a whole lot more. Okay. I'm not... For whatever reason, adding that helped. That helped a lot. Legos as prize or snack as prize? Ooh. That's a good question. Why pick? That's a good point, Nikita. That's actually a really good point. If it were me, I personally would probably go with the snack. For whatever reason, I respond better to temporary things as a reward than something that's a longer term thing. But I could also see why the Lego thing would also work, because you could look at it and you go, see, I bought this Lego because I did this thing. So if I keep doing these things, well, then I can buy more Legos. It's all about how you mentally look at it, I suppose. So that fear also seeing as that how I have lost and I know to it. That's fair. Although they've done a lot of research, and you know, there's a good chance that we may not be able to cure it, but we may be able to fight it off a lot better than, you know, our grandparents, and in some cases, for some of us here, our parents, we're more equipped and better and more capable to fighting off these things, because the research is there and we're finding new correlations that may one day help us in our fights against dementia and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all those things. It's peak. When you change it from Grum to Demo Bone, it's 50-50 on it. Eventually I'm gonna add a Jeb underscore name tag as well. So then that'll be in there. Money, sadly, that's fair. This should be the norm. Both random chances one. We got Grums so many times in a row I didn't notice. It does seem to favor it, but I promise you, it is actually just it is actually just completely random odd. Let's see. What am I doing? We did this. That was all part of the plan. I guess we can torch it up. Candy. Candy! I gotta get some candy. Hang on. Boop. 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 Alright. Let me come over here. And get somewhere safe so I can grab some candy. I've still got candy from Christmas, so we've been living off of that. Guys, I have not had to buy candy for the candy redeem in forever. I'm so happy. I try not to. I don't really make a ton of money off of anything yet. If I get this job and it works out, then I'll have plenty of money. I can reinvest what I make from the stream into buying candy, and that's just fine. I'd be very happy with that, in fact. If it doesn't, then, you know, I gotta stay on money-saving mode and be a little bit more choosy about where we spend our stream monies. I will say that there are some fun things I've got planned coming up for streams, just as soon as I get back on track. I'd like to bring back, well, I don't know if we'll bring back minigame streams. I felt like those were kind of a disappointment. You know, they weren't terrible. They weren't outright terrible. But I felt like we could probably do it better. I want to do a community day. I just gotta figure out a better way to do it so that playing games with you guys isn't lame. I don't know. The only answer to that would be like, I'll bring back King SMP. It's a little bit easier said than done, and I may actually do a stream about that at some point, just planning out King SMP and the pricings of it so that you guys get a full look into that. Because I think I've unintentionally set up a little bit of a curtain there when it comes to King SMP, and I want to like be open with it. It costs a lot to run servers. It costs a lot to do what I want to do with King SMP, and it takes a lot more time than I think I've let on as well. So I may do a stream about that at some point just to show you guys a little bit about server maintenance and such. Thank you for the candy, though. I appreciate it, Emmy. I have candy from 2 Christmases ago. I had some stuff that I don't even know how old it was. It had like this white powder on it though, because it had been that old. I had candy from that old, however long ago it was. Just laying in my room, and I used to eat that on stream. They make you fat and poor if we keep on redeeming candy. You guys really know how to ruin my life. Oh man. Okay, what's the goal? Let's go fishing for a little bit while I think about what's next, because I don't know. I gotta think on it a little bit. I'm kind of thinking maybe we do a staircase up from here into this area, but I don't know if I want to put anything up here yet. I may do like a cave entrance of some sort, but then I'd have to do something into the cave, which would be kind of hard to do, I think. I may just do another staircase up and then do some fancy cliffs here instead. I know up here we're going to do the pathway, like I said. That's going to take a lot of time. I could always come through and chop up some of the wood, though, because there's a lot of trees that need to come down in order for that to work. But for now, let's just go fish. We'll fish for a bit, and then we'll go from there. Build a house there. I could. I don't really want to do houses over here. The people that I imagine living in this area live underground. But I could always still put houses around. I mean, there's a dirt hut here, so we could do another dirt hut over there, technically. Will Omnia have couch co-op? I want to say yes, but I don't know if I can even get it to run on a console. So the hope would be yes, but I don't know how it would perform yet. And I mean, consoles essentially next generation will probably be more PC-like. And in that case, yes, it would probably be able to support some form of couch co-op. Even if I could, I would like to make it work on Steam as a couch co-op even. But I can't confirm that until I know how performance works. You know, there's a lot of issues that I could foresee happening here. I'll add it to the to-do list, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, I will apologize for that. There's a couple of things I gotta think about on how that might work. Hello, P Shooter. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Next mending book, I'll be here to see you catch it. Heck yeah. I'm hoping we get another mending book soon, but I really shouldn't have committed myself to getting all of them through here. We'll just have to wait and see. What art styles, Omnia? That's a good question. It's a really good question. So I've got essentially 3 art styles that you could toggle between based on the performance that your PC can do. So the lowest scale performance would be like, think like Doom, the first Doom game, where it's 2D sprites and pixel art kind of deal. So it would be very low graphics. You don't have to worry about very much. Next up from that would be like low poly. So think along the lines of, I mean, you could go trace it back down to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 graphic style. And then the next one up from that would be current modern day graphics, which would be, you know, ray tracing, ultimate realism. The goal is going to be that uncap. I will uncap it. So if you guys want to run the game at maximum, I will not block you guys from doing that. There will be a warning that pops up and says, do not do this. Do not do this, because it will probably break your computer. But I will not stop you guys from doing it. It will recommend strongly that you do not turn up the eye reflection detail up to maximum full-scale reflection. But if you want, you can, by all means, make people's eyes reflect the entire world at full-scale resolution. But that's on you. That is on you if you do it. I believe strongly in players being able to do what they want. So, in order to allow as many people to play on the game as possible, it will scale down to, you know, pixel art graphics, and that'll make it easy enough for people to run. You won't have to run ray tracing. You won't have to run all that stuff. The advertising material will largely target realistic graphics, because I want the game to feel immersive at the end of the day. But the vast majority of people currently would not be able to play Omnia. Now, when we're looking at the future, when everybody's able to run a computer that is the size, or that has the capabilities of AI built in, you know, you're looking at probably a really, really good computer there. Ooh, Fortune 3. We actually really needed that. That's very handy. I don't want to push anybody into stuff they don't want, though, is the other thing. So, you know, some people prefer certain shadings, other people prefer other types. I would ideally like to have it set up so that you could inject your own shaders into the game as well. So if you preferred a more cartoony type of look, you could have cell shading, as opposed to what we have right now. If you prefer a more, I guess, like, desaturated look or a more saturated look, you can apply that pretty easily. The game is supposed to be customizable to a heavy extent, hopefully. Will the modern graphics look kind of like Jedi Survivor? Possibly? I didn't actually play Jedi Survivor, so let me pull it up just to be sure. Before I say anything on that. Jedi Survivor? I can't spell. I would say that's probably ideally what I'm shooting for, yeah. If not that, you could look at Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, I think is what it was called. It's the new Star Wars game that's coming out. You could look at that teaser. That's kind of what I'm shooting for in terms of capabilities at some point in time. Again, it'll be uncapped. You can do it if you want. It will lag you to no end if you put it at the full max graphics. So that's why I will have special tunings. So it'll scan your PC if you give it permission, and it'll suggest it based on what I've benchmarked on your simulation distance, so how far things will simulate at full detail, and then it'll simulate, it'll figure out what the next book is bending. Oh boy, you'd regret it. Yeah, it's fine. We'll catch it. We'll get it. Trust, guys. Trust. So you know, it'll track, you know, how heavy processing will be. It'll track how heavy graphics will be, and it'll recommend stuff, and it will. Ideally, in an ideal world, if you turn down one thing, it would also say you could turn this up to still achieve 60 frames per second, or whatever the target frame rate will be. I'm shooting for 60 FPS for everything because it's not a competitive game. You know, you could host a competitive aspect in Omnia for sure. I just don't foresee people playing it that way. I don't think it would do anyone much good, in all honesty. But some people might want to play it that way. And in that case, they probably aren't running full graphics anyway. I don't know. Okay, if I run a 4060, will it run it? I'm hesitant to say. I will say, ideally, yes, probably, because I am currently developing it on an RTX 3070, which is a generation older than your 4060, if you're running a 4060 right now. The 4060 should probably run it, because I'm developing on a lesser card. The question is, you know, I haven't implemented a ton of stuff into it yet. I may have to upgrade my PC in order to finish developing Omnia. There's always that question. But your 4060 is the equivalent of my 3070, except it probably processes faster. I think it has the same amount of VRAM though, so that's one of the big parts of this. Once I have more in the way of, you know, I actually have my game design document. I have the performance metrics that I want to hit. I could tell you guys about this. Somewhere at the bottom, I know that. Target performance. Okay. I wrote this, so just bear with me. I only remember what half of this said. There's plenty of snags that can occur. While I'm planning on always optimizing Omnia and making it run smoother and running on devices, 1.0 needs to happen at some point. That point should be when the game is with a bulk of the features, but also runs with the following requirements. So the target platform, Windows and Linux with whatever the mid-range hardware is at that time. So Mac users wouldn't be able to play. According to market research, Mac makes up less than 1% of gamers in general. While I don't want to cut them out entirely, the truth of the matter is right now, with where we're at, developing on Mac would be at a net loss because you have to pay for a developer's license, you have to actually get a Mac to develop on, and the question of would it even run on a Mac is always there as well. So for now, I'm just going to say it, Mac probably won't happen. In addition to PC, I'm also hoping to have a version of PC VR working and functioning. So that's at launch. Now, after launch, I would like to see about adding a console into the mix. It would probably start with Xbox because Xboxes are becoming more and more like PCs. Then it would go to PlayStation. After PlayStation, if it could happen at all, a Switch. And then after Switch, probably mobile. The question of would that ever happen is always there. I don't want to ever promise something to you guys that I don't believe in. And the truth is, I don't believe it would run on a Switch. I don't know if it would run on a Steam Deck, to be honest. It could, theoretically, what you could do, if you bought it on your computer, you could theoretically, I could set it up so that you could remote in to your PC, so that it would use the PC's hardware, but you could stream it to your console. But that's kind of cheating, and a lot of consoles I don't think like it when you do that. So I'd have to rethink that strategy for Switch, for example. But for mobile and Steam Deck, I could see that possibly happening. Do you remember where we had a conversation about genetic engineering? I do remember that. Yes, Miles, I do. Will it be available on PlayStation 2? Will it be available on Game Boy Color? Oh boy. Two of my favorite consoles. Game Boy Color was peak. But PlayStation 2 is so good. It was so good. It would be funny if I could figure out a way to make it run on it. I would have to disable all of the AI features, so the NPCs would be stupid. The graphics would be on the lowest settings. Theoretically, I could have a version of the game running on low-end devices, but the NPCs would suck. Now, that does bring... I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. I haven't thought about it, because the NPCs are such a large feature in Omnia. But you could theoretically have a... I could build a backup system, a fallback system, so that when a player disables it because their computer cannot run it, it runs a series of dice rolls based on predetermined options, I guess. So for quest lines that I built myself, I would have predetermined, in between 3 to 5 options that you could pick from, and maybe even more than that theoretically if you depending on if the game just decides that you have a lot of charisma in this conversation, for example, then it may unlock more and more options that you could pick it and it would be considered successful. I don't know. I gotta think about it. There's a lot to think about. And as it is right now, the game is so big in my head that writing it down doesn't do it justice. And I don't know where to start. I'm planning on getting a 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte for my first build. Okay. That's a not terrible card. The 50 series has a bad rap just due to the fact that it does use AI frame generation. I've not seen anybody actually have an issue with it in actual practice, but I've heard a lot of people complain about that. But it probably is fine, truthfully. My child's first console will be a PS2 as it was. That's so base, dude. That is so base. It'll be playable on a smart fridge. We should try to make it happen. I was gonna go for the washer, but smart fridge would be so much better. Be available on the Kia 3310. Oh my gosh, it'll be playable on a D20. I mean, in the background, it's rolling a D20 basically. So you know, take that for what you will. Target FPS is 60 plus on medium settings. Consistent frame rate across simulation-heavy environments like dense NPC crowds or large-scale events. Designed with the intent of scalable performance, the world simulates updates synchronously at 10 to 30 hertz, depending on the hardware. So, yeah, that's fine. Here it was. Optimization philosophy. So this is what I wrote in terms of how I want Omnia to run and how I'm going to decide when it runs well enough, basically. Omnia should be fun without all the ear and eye candy. This means that you should have that if you have to turn off all the fancy things that the game has to offer you, you'll still have fun. So I need to make sure that simulation runs stable first and foremost. If something has to go, it will always be the graphics. Every system needs to be scalable as well to achieve this. Lower-end devices need to be able to turn down the AI complexity, graphic, and sound settings without breaking the game completely. If files are getting too large, the game will do its best to clean up these files by scheduling them for deletion if they're deemed irrelevant to the game. Asynchronous tasking and multi-threading is for heavy simulation tasks. Every system that is heavy on its own should be put on its own thread. This will ensure that the game will run as smoothly as possible, and if one system is bogged down, the rest of the world still moves. So, I guess I never talked about this, or I've talked about it, but I haven't really mentioned it recently. The sound system is probably going to eat up a lot of resources as well, because it bounces like sound and it dampens based on the materials it touches, and the sound affects the environment. So if if you're really loud in a snowy area, an avalanche can happen, for example. So your sound settings will affect some of that as well. Constraints. Everything that Omnia is behind the scenes is heavy on the CPU especially. Careful balancing will be required for every system in Omnia. Procedural generation is also going to eat RAM like it's candy, that's true. The maximum graphics capability of Omnia will destroy most GPUs on the market. Anyway, if anyone can truly play Omnia at its peak, I will honestly be impressed. Yeah, that's fair. I don't think I have anything else on here about gameplay right now. Okay. Yeah. So I think I've read everything that's important in there, at least in regards to the optimization and performance side of things. Loki, you're one of my favorite Minecraft content creators. Just really a genuine guy. I appreciate that, Miles. Thank you. That means a lot. I try to be good. I try to do my best, and I try to make good content, and I try to get better so that you guys can enjoy it better and it not. I want to be proud of everything I do, and sometimes that means things take a little while. Sometimes that means I trash entire projects. I've got a project right now that I've been sitting on for the last 2 weeks, and I'm very much considering deleting it because it's just not... I don't think it's good. But I might still release it. I haven't decided yet. But I put a lot of thought into what I try to make, and I don't want to waste your guys' time ever with what I put out. My first console was Sega Mega Drive Genesis in the US. Oh my goodness, you're old. I'm kidding, Nathan, I'm kidding. How many hours do you think it will take to 100% Omnia? How many hours of development, or how many hours of playtime? Because playtime is a little different. Only because... Playtime, okay. That's tricky, because I don't know what all is going to be in the game, at least on launch. I mean, there will be some stories, and some of those will be tied to achievements, so there will be some things that you can, like, 100% complete on. There's a lot of achievements that are just based off of Easter eggs and memes as well. I imagine it would take somebody hundreds of hours to actually do everything, though. I mean, to interact with every system alone would be crazy. Because Omnia has, you know, when you're looking at it from the point of view that I've got it at, you know, it's, if you wanted to take over the galaxy, for example, you don't have to do that to play Omnia. There's no set quest to take over the galaxy. But if you wanted to become an intergalactic emperor, you could. And there might be an achievement about that where you have to maintain control of every single planet in the Omnia galaxy. And you have to maintain that for a week, you know, in order to get some sort of achievement. But, you know, the game itself doesn't set you out on a quest to do that. I haven't quite decided how the game actually puts you into it, either. I've had some ideas floating around in my head. But I really do struggle with that because it's so infinite. So I'm kind of thinking I might follow a Stardew Valley approach to it and create a new scenario that starts you every time. So every update that I do after launch will have a new scenario that gets you into the game, into what you want to do before the game actually starts. Because I imagine some people would want to start and they'd want to have a massive army, and they'd want to have, you know, control over several planets in a sector. Some people want to start with nothing. Some people want to start as a baby, you know. Some people want to maybe start as a amnesiac who is trying to... who's trying to find out who they are, and, you know, they were attacked randomly by pirates, and so it starts them right in combat. You know, there's a lot of different things people might want with Omnia, because it covers such a wide variety of things, and so I want to try to create a way that honors that, so that people can choose the start that makes the most sense for them. But also I need to make sure that that balance is okay with multiplayer. Because, for example, in multiplayer, somebody joining later in the game, they can't just choose to be a leader. Or they could, and it just spawns in a whole new sector of planets that this person owns, and it summons a whole bunch of NPCs and stuff. But that could be a nightmare. That could just be a legitimate nightmare, I don't know. The other thing about multiplayer is I have to figure out what would a large-scale server look like for Omnia. Is that something we even want to pursue? I don't imagine it being a MMO. You know, I can't imagine 100 players playing on the same. Could it be done? Theoretically, if you had enough computing power, yes. That's a very big if. But you could theoretically... I could foresee people playing with a group of friends, maybe 10 people at most. And that would be fun. I'd love, once I have the game out, I would love to play with you guys at some point on there. Invite a bunch of you guys and just hang out on there. See what we could get up to. I know when it comes down to it, I do want to do some play tests with you guys, because there's so many things that I'm not going to be able to find myself, because I'm going to play the game the way I designed it to be played. People are going to find their own ways to play it, though, and I need to kind of learn how people are going to choose to play it, and make sure I rebalance things, make sure it's fun, and make sure I fix a lot of bugs, because I'm sure there will be tons of them. Right side of my keyboard legit has dust on it. Oh no. I need to clean my keyboard. It's got some dust on it too. I'll get around to it eventually, probably. My first computer had the Pentium 4 processor. Oh my gosh. Most people these days started on dual cores and stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance in this chat there's people who probably started on quad cores. I mean, I think I'm running 12 cores. So, you know, when I started, I was definitely a dual core processor. Although I may have, I've probably touched single cores at some point, but I distinctly remember the laptop I started gaming on. It was a dual core. Uni, welcome on in. Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Will it have some achievements in the style of Stanley Parable? Probably, if it's what I think you're thinking of, yes. Stanley Parable had some banger achievements where it was kind of like, go do this, go do that. Now go back here, do this 500 times, you know. Honey Bun, welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. How's your stream? I was lurking. You guys were playing on a Minecraft SMP for a little bit. Were you still doing that when you were ending, or were you playing on some Fortnite maybe? Welcome on in. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome, welcome. If any of you need to raid and run, please feel free to do so. I know it's getting late for a lot of us here, especially if you're somewhere in Europe. Europeans, I'm looking at you. I know you're here. Go to sleep. But, you know, I appreciate y'all popping in. We're just fishing right now. We were working over here earlier, and we kind of filled in this area. I got a little carried away and built a retaining wall, but it didn't look right, so I had to build this side, and then I filled in the dirt, and it looks pretty good, I think. It turned out good. So, that's what we've done. We're fishing now just to try to catch a mending book while I think about what's next, because I'm very, very indecisive today. I say today. I'm indecisive all the time. You could ask any of my friends, and I think they'd probably tell you. Also, for those of you who have been following the saga in Discord, Oddly Fox popped into my chat just a second ago and said that we got an answer. It's most likely yes. So congratulations, Oddly Fox. I hope it stays a yes for your sake. But in the end, what happens is probably what's supposed to happen. So hang in there. And good luck. I'm not running an ad Swiftu. I'm not right after Raiders pop in. That's crazy. I'm not doing that to them. That's not okay. I'm refunding that. Actually, you know what? No, ads are gonna start anyway in 4 minutes. I'm draining Swifty's points, guys. Ads are gonna start anyway. I apologize. I apologize so much. Blame Swiftu, okay? It was either Swifty or Twitch at this point, so one of you had to happen. Hop over to the YouTube stream if you guys want to avoid the ads. I'm not technically supposed to tell you that, but I can because what's Twitch gonna do? Ban me? Good luck. All right, here we go. Did some Minecraft and Fortnite? Very nice. Did you win any rounds of Fortnite or just had some fun? I made a 24 core once. I refuse to use it though because it's far too powerful. I have it framed in my man cave currently. That is awesome. That is actually so awesome. I want to get I need to get a better processor. Well, I need to just upgrade my computer at some point. Also, we are 1 follower away from 1,600 followers. If somebody wants to take that 1.6K spot, now's a great time to do it. But don't feel pressured. I appreciate y'all nonetheless. I lend it out to friends sometimes. That's fair. That is so fair. You never know when they might need it, you know? It could save their lives. I know I used to do a lot of Blender, and I used to want a Threadripper because, man, would that have made my life so easy. It would have been great. What little points he has after we took everything. All good. 0 wins in Fortnite, 0 wins in Minecraft 2. I have it so my viewers can make me drop items to let it respawn. And they made me drop my diamond pickaxe. No. Oh, dude. Viewers, they're so mean sometimes. They're so mean. I don't know what we did to them. But that's awful. I'm sorry. That's rough. I just read the Oddly Duck saga. It might have been a yes. It might have been a yes. That's all I know right now. It might have been a yes. Which is good. It's really, really good. Kermit, alright. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes, please. Alrighty, everybody. Swifty redeemed silly voice. So I am, doing a silly voice. You know what I hate? Your Kermit impression. I appreciate that. I know why you hate it. And it's probably because, the actual Kermit voice actor does a terrible job compared to my Kermit voice, which is, just kind of depressing if you think about it. Let's see, some of them work with generational AI and run like 600 per generation. That is a lot. That is a lot. They definitely need it compared to what most people do. I've been thinking the same exact joke, honey. I had the same exact thought. I hate that your current impression is better than his, Matt Vogel. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, I guess. I don't know. It's sad. It's really, really sad. Or like Matt. Matt what? Matt Bagel? Bagel, yes. What am I doing? I'm fishing. I'm Canadian. What in the world? We need an artist to make Reg in a Kermit onesie. At one point in time, somebody was going to... We were going to do like a Kermit costume. and we decided against it, but it was really impressive. It would have been really expensive. Hermit onesie would be pretty sick. That does not have mending. That is pretty unfortunate. That is okay, I guess. It is what it is. No gel? Is that Kermit ain't sticking? That's crazy. Has KingReg worked on Omnia? KingReg has not really done much of anything. He's pretty lazy, actually. He's not very committed. Yeah, no, KingReg don't do much. You take fan mail? Currently Googling Kermit made outfits for you. That's, lovely. Thank you for that. That's great. That's wonderful. Dude, this is the point in time where a raider asks, what's Omnia? What's Omnia? I'm glad you asked. Omnia is my video game that I'm currently working on. It is a pretty much everything game. So the name Omnia actually means all things or everything in Latin, which Latin just makes everything better. You can thank Swiftu for finding that out. I developed it. It's pretty big. It's got everything, like I said. It's not out yet, and I don't know when it'll be out because I have to restart, but trust me, guys, it'll come out eventually. I promise. I promise. It'll happen. I'm losing the Kermit. It's slipping. I'll try to get hit YouTuber and completionist Johnny Do to play Omnia if I can. I don't know who that is actually. But you know what? I would be so happy if anybody would play my game. It would mean a lot. Also, my camera's being a little bit mean. Why are you... Lights are flickering too. If the power... Oh no. Oh. Okay, are we good now? Okay, we're good. Okay. We're done with voice impression. If the power goes out, I'm not coming back, okay, guys? That's just... I have to say this every time the power flickers. One of these days it doesn't come back on. I'm not coming back. I will see you Sunday. No. Yeah, Sunday, probably. If all goes to plan. That's just... It's the reality of where I live. Okay? That's all I can say about that. Okay, are we lagging still? A little bit. If I'm lagging for you guys, let me know. Latin makes anything cool. I'll try to get hit the guy who 100% games. Okay, I see. And the Omnia should technically be impossible to 100%. Well, not impossible, just insanely difficult. It would be funny. It would be so funny if somebody could actually 100% it. Like, there's not a true end to the game, but there will be plenty of achievements for people to get, so... He's never gonna play Silk Song. Fine on my end? Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Kermit is being summoned. We have talked about the Omnia 100% speedruns, yeah. They're gonna be interesting. They're gonna be really interesting Sunday. I mean, I'm planning on it. I've been sleeping really good lately. I've been getting my work done mostly. I'm actually hoping to finish the episode for the Forever World today, or tonight after stream, if my brain works fine and Admiral doesn't want to watch anything. Otherwise, I'll finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to work on my secondary project, which is the project I've been wanting to trash for the last 2 weeks because I feel like it's crap. But I'm going to try to save it. Otherwise, I got to redo it all. Or just scrap it. I don't know. I don't want to break a promise, but we'll see. I don't know. I've got a lot of things to think about on this. I'm gonna beat a tool-assisted speedrun in under 20 seconds on Minecraft. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Nothing wrong for me either? Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh yeah, Jams. One of the weird achievements we mentioned, Omnia is full of those. We've discussed a lot, and one of the weird achievements that we've mentioned just as an idea was like, don't move, don't do anything for a certain amount of time. So like, one of them was like, do literally nothing for 10 hours. I don't know if we'll actually do that because you only can have so many achievements in Steam and on PlayStation and on Xbox, so I'm gonna have to math it out a little bit. But at some point in time, it would be kind of funny to do that. There's a Stanley Parable achievement that you need to play the game an entire Tuesday, all 24 hours. Yeah, that one, I hate that one. I still haven't gotten it. That is one I still have not gotten. One day I'll get it. Maybe we'll do that on the 12-hour stream. Don't ask me how that works. I'll just do it all on the 12-hour stream, though. These guys were hunting me from way over there. Why? Also, on your you don't play the game for 10 years. I may have cheated on that one, I'm not gonna lie. I think most people probably cheat for that one, but I just set the clock forward. It was so worth it. Yeah, I mean, in that vein, we might have some, like, Stanley Parable where it's kind of crazy like that. Brings back memories of Gran Turismo on PS2 when you had to do the 24-hour races. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's awful. There should be an achievement where if you get 15 or more achievements in a certain amount of time, it resets all your achievements, like 15 achievements in 10 minutes. That would be terrible. No. That's awful. No. No, I don't want to kill the speedrunning. I want people to speedrun, but I want it to also be an enjoyable... I want some of them to be tricky. All advancement speedrunners mad. The baby one makes me angry. I forget. It's been so long since I played Stanley Parable. It's probably been 3 years. I don't know. It's been a long time. I should try to get... I've got a few people that I think would have a lot of fun with it. I should try to get them to play it. It was a good game. I need to play the deluxe edition at some point. That's one I need to do. You need to click the button for... You need to click the button over and over for 4 hours. It gets harder 2 hours in. Did I do that? Because I think I have that achievement. Hang on. I feel like I would remember something like that, but I don't remember it. Stanley Parable. I have literally every achievement except for playing an entire Tuesday. Now, like I said, I did cheat and get the don't play for 5 years. It might be only an Ultra Deluxe. Okay, I see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here in the base Stanley Parable. There's only 10 here. Once you unlock all achievements, the secret one reveals called Doing It Again. Or Do It Again. Oh my gosh. What in the world? Why am I... That's... Okay. My Steam is a little busted. That's fine. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is a masterpiece. Real. Stanley Parable is just... It's chef's kiss. I assume you know what the new content is. I actually have avoided all the spoilers for the new one. I need to play it, but I'm really I don't. I'm scared because part of it is I don't know if I want to stream anything other than Minecraft right now. I'd hate to mess up a good thing that I've got going. I could always start a second channel. I could do that. I don't know if I really want to do that, but I could. And then just not do the YouTube side. Because that would give me... I'll think about it. That's something I'll think about. I don't want to promise that. Maybe Twitch exclusive. I mean, I could do that as well. I've just found even on Twitch, if you're not playing the same game, it hurts for whatever reason. But, you know, 1 or 2 times where you're not playing Minecraft isn't gonna kill you. It's just if I have to play the game more than once, that's where it kind of becomes a slight problem. I'm not dissing you or anything, but why is it every time I join you're playing fishing simulator on Minecraft? That's a very good question. I wish I knew. I mean, I'm fishing for mending. That's part of it. I'm also avoiding my responsibilities. Also, it is hot. I am boiling alive. Stanley Parable Deluxe could probably be done in 1 or 2 streams. Okay. That's not terrible, then. I could probably make that one happen. Although there's a lot of other games I want to make time for as well. What was it? I haven't played Silk Song. That one would be a fun one to stream, but I would not stream it on this channel just because... Well, I might. I would consider it. I would definitely consider it, but when it comes to a series, I'm very hesitant on that stuff. How rare is amending to fish? Wouldn't it be easier to do villagers? I feel like I've seen this question. Yes, it would be easier to do villagers. I just don't like to use villagers because it's too easy. In a forever world, I don't need to get everything immediately. So, I thought, hey, what better way to get mending than to fish it up? But it is like... It takes... It's like a 1 in 3,000 chance, I think. Maybe. The stat check. Maybe it's not 1 in 3,000. That might be an exaggeration. I fished 3,758 times. I've only gotten 1 book. It's a little rare. It is. It was supposed to take like 30 hours, I think, in order to fish all of the books up that I need. So, it'll take a little bit. It's pretty rare. What you're aiming for? Uh... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9. I might need a little bit more than that. It just kind of depends on where I'm drawing the line on it, but I think 9 is probably enough. That's all of the tools, all the armor. The bow would already have mending on it because I'll just combine all the bows I already got. So, you know, it'll take a little bit. It'll take a bit, but it's fine. It's fine. Silksong is a top 5 all-time game for me. Okay, that's some high praise there. Also, Cora, welcome on in. Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, indeed. Took me 10 total hours across a few weeks, like, for all, like, all content and all endings and stuff. Okay, I see. That's not terrible, then. I could probably do that. Well, just 27,000 more to go. That feels bad. That feels awful. Okay. I got this, chat. I got this. Trust me. I can fish. Honestly, storage has been the biggest issue with the fishing. I need to make more barrels. Might get top 3 after all the DLCs. Okay. I saw they announced a new DLC. I didn't see what it really was. I haven't played Silksong yet. I like Hollow Knight. I'm just scared to dip myself into Silksong right now. I'm struggling. If I could make it into a stream series, I might. Because that would give me at least a justification for it, maybe. I don't know. Jams, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you another time. But have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you, dude. Oh, man. I'm falling behind on too many things. I'm trying to think. If I can get caught up this month, next month we could consider adding more to the to-do list. But I don't want to promise that until I've cleared out all of my promises from last year. Because I've still got a lot of things I'm not gonna do. Like, I promised you guys the Season 3 King SMP download. That's coming hopefully this month. It's all ready. I have that. I have the merch that's supposed to launch alongside that. I just have to record the video. I have to record and edit a video. That's all I have to do. That could come out. I have a 1,500 subscriber special that's coming out 100 subscribers late. That could come out soon. I've got to break some promises that I made for this year because I realized they're just unrealistic. So I'm gonna announce that some of those are getting broken. I've got... What else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something. I've still got a series that I need to do for YouTube. The creative building series. I want to make that happen. I really do. Also, we just hit level 30. I'm gonna make a to-do list on my to-do list. No joke, guys. To-do lists are one of the best things ever. I have one, or I have like 8, really. I have one for each. I have one main one for the month, but then I have one for each task within the month, so that I can break up all my tasks into subtasks and stuff without it being overwhelming. It's really nice to have. It's really, really nice to have. And I do get a lot of stuff done on there. It's just, they're not visible stuff. Go 8 to-do lists. You need to do them. You're not wrong. Knockback 2. Dang it. That's like one of the worst books I could have gotten. At least for me. I don't use Knockback. Also, I think it's time we make some more barrels. Alright. I'll read you guys part of my to-do lists, actually. Because I think they're kind of funny. Let me pause instead of the other thing. So here's my month. Priority 1. So I've broken it up into 3 priorities. Priority 1 is like, get this done first. Priority 2 is like, if you got the thing done, that was priority 1, then do this. And it should be able to be done by the end of the month. And then priority 3 is like, you're probably not going to get to here, but if you do, cool, do it. So priority 1 is the 12-hour stream. This has been on my priority 1 for, I believe, since January. That's about it. YouTube, I've got 3 priority ones. Maintain the Forever World, to do 1 episode a week. Do the 1.5k subscriber special and the King SMP Season 3 video. The VOD channel is just to keep up on the uploads, don't fall behind. King SMP is done. This month I didn't have anything for King SMP. Omnia is to redo the plan on how to build the game. And then life is just medical. Strictly stick to the medical process. Get it fixed. Priority 2 is to... Let's see. Twitch is to work on the website again. I throw that into Twitch just because Twitch doesn't have a ton of things anyway. And then I need to also create a little button on my stream deck here so that I can quickly clip things, because I want to do more YouTube shorts and TikTok. So I need to have a button that makes that easy. YouTube is maintain YouTube shorts, get a 2-week video backlog, so get ahead by 2 videos ideally. The VOD channel is to do the backlog, so I've got 15 thumbnails I need to do this month on that. King SMP is to research self-hosting and costs. I might try to make that into a stream, honestly, because that'll guarantee it gets done. Omnia doesn't have any priority 2s. Life is work on some stuff for my dad, and then spend 1 day a week on just resting. I want to actually not burn out, ideally. That would be great. Priority 3 here is make a playlist for stream, not just Forever World streams, but whatever other types of streams I might have. Start clipping things for shorts, which goes into the clip button, and then test some channel point ideas. I've got 2 channel point ideas I'd like to do, but I haven't gotten around to that. YouTube is start the creative series, make some deep dive videos. VOD channel is 148 thumbnails. Just on a whim, if I do a lot of extra ones, I can kind of knock out some stuff and make the rest of my months easier. Update the branding on that channel. Did you guys know I have almost 1,000 VODs? I've streamed almost 1,000 times. That's kind of crazy. King SMP is just draft season 4. I could probably knock that out in the same stream that I do the hosting stuff. Omnia is plan devlogs, set up Steam page, and then life is trim down the playlist because it's currently at 268 songs and I need it down to 250. So I can eventually get it down to 200. So I can eventually get it down to 100. I need to clean my room. I need to finish 3D printing that table. Then there's a parking lot of ideas where I've not had room in the schedule to put these anywhere. So I've just thrown them at the bottom of the list and said, it'll stay here until I've got time. And then there's, of course, subtasks within each of these tasks, but I'm not going to read those. You don't need that. You guys don't need to know about all that stuff. It would just be boring. It would be boring to hear about that. I don't want to be a boring. That would be pretty lame. I don't know anything about being. That's not me. My goodness, last night in the shower, I found out how easy it is to impersonate the Orange Man. It's quite fun, isn't it? You just grunt at the start of every sentence. Yup. It doesn't take much. But you can do it. And it is fun. It is so fun. And then it's all about word choice. If you can pick up the mannerisms, it definitely helps sell it. Alright. Your books. Put you there, and I'll take those. Okay. And then put that in there. This will be my saddle box now. And I've got more boots. Those could go in here instead of the saddle box, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I just work here. And over here, boop. And there. And back. I don't think I need this many saddles, but I would hate to see them get thrown away, you know? Here for books. Okay, then I'm gonna put another set of books in here, and we should be good. Okay. Let's go ahead and fish until it's night again. When is our next ad break? I want to end before that, I think. Okay. Hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. Okay. That way I don't waste your time with ads again. I don't want to do that, guys. I do have a lot of things to get done today, so I'm hoping after stream I'll get that video done so that this weekend you guys will have a new Forever World episode. It won't contain anything you guys haven't seen except the cow names, which I think I showed you guys in last stream anyway. And then I think that's it, really. And then I might start recording the next episode, honestly. Try to get ahead. I don't know. It just kind of depends on a few things. We'll see. We shall see. If you want something to work, you gotta put in the work. And at this point, if I'm not putting in the work, I'm going broke. So I need to check on the status of my job application. They haven't sent me an email, so I'm gonna assume that there's no change right now, but I really, really, really need that to work or this to do something. I'm cool with it either way. I just need something to happen. I gotta check the hospitals again as well. They might have a opening. Sometimes you can weasel your way in there. Not as like a doctor or anything. I don't want to be a doctor. But IT. That's where I really want to be. It's just hard to get in. That's the trouble right now. We could get a second mending book. I'm trying to figure out what I want to put it on. I could always put it on a second pickaxe so that we could have fortune. Alternatively, I put it on a piece of armor, like probably my chest plate in all honesty, so that it doesn't break. That's a lot of diamonds that could go to waste there. Or I try to max out my sword so that I don't ever die, you know? Like, there's a couple of things. I think I would probably put it on my chest plate, though. Upgrade that sucker all the way. I don't know. I got some things to think about, that's for sure. There's a chance we get full enchantments before we go to the nether. That's kind of crazy. We still haven't been. I've just kind of realized that. I have not been to the nether at all in this world. Efficiency 4, that's kind of nice. Okay. And if anyone's asking or is wondering, time played. I've played for 2.5 days on this world. 2.5 real life days. So, 60 hours is that? Is that 60 hours, I think? Like, I've put in a lot of time. I haven't had a need to go to the nether besides, like, at some point in time, I'd like to get potions so that I can go get netherite. Going to the nether just unlocks more nether things for me. At some point in time, it would be my quick travel system. What else? I guess it would unlock some new blocks for me, like basalt and blackstone. Quartz. I could do more with redstone. Yeah, quartz. Thank you, Nathan. I just now saw that. I don't know what else. I guess, like, at some point in time I'll need it to go to the end, but I don't have any intent to go to the end anytime soon, honestly. Evo, welcome on in on the YouTube stream. Hello. Hope you're doing well. At some point I'm gonna have to force myself to go to the end, probably. I don't know. I don't have a need. Like, at some point I'll need wings, probably. Soul Sand for bubble elevator. That's a good point. I will need that. And as far as I know, you can't get it from anywhere else, so that's a good point. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? I'm just chilling, fishing up some stuff, trying to get another mending book, but not doing anything too crazy. We earlier worked on the retaining wall of my village, and it's been not terrible. We added this wall right here, and we filled in the dirt. Grass is all grown in too, which is nice. But we still got a long way to go, so I have to decide what's next on the build. Good, pretty cool graphics, to be honest. Really good. We should play together sometime. At some point, I'm going to bring back my viewer joinable server, and you'd be more than welcome to join that. But yeah, these graphics, it's just complimentary reimagined. I have a couple of settings that I've changed where I've turned up the saturation. But outside of that, I haven't done anything too crazy with it. It's a pretty good shader pack, though. I like it. Yeah. I have thought about it. When we bring back the viewer joinable server, it's gonna start with just the SMP. Well, it'll start with a lobby and an SMP. So the lobby will open. You guys will be able to run around there for a little bit. Then I'll open up the SMP as a grand opening thing. And then later on, we'll add other things like game modes. So there may be, like, at some point in time, I'd like to add a way for you guys to play mini games. And so there may be like I don't know. Bed Wars is kind of overdone, but maybe I would do a Bed Wars. Who knows? I'd like to create some stuff for you guys, and I might bring in some friends to help me with it. Friends to help advertise it, but also to help develop it and help build on there. I know Swifty, you've talked about wanting to help build on there. I'd be more than happy to let you loose and build a lobby or something like that. Or just build a whole map. Whatever you want. You know, I'm just happy to have that, even as an idea. Well, okay, I should say this. First comes the lobby, second comes the SMP, third would be a creative world for you guys to build in. A creative plot world. And that would have some perks tied to supporters as well. So if you're like a subscriber or channel member on YouTube, if you're a YouTube channel member or a Twitch subscriber, if you're paying a membership somewhere on any of these things, maybe it'll give you more active plots that you can have. Maybe it'll give you access to dangerous commands earlier than other people. I want to make it so that you could play it for free entirely, so you'll always have one active plot, but and you wouldn't have to clear your plot in order to start another one. It would just be like, it would lock the perm in that spot so that you're not taking up a ton of space in that world if you're just making a whole bunch of empty plots, you know? And it gives the subscribers a little something just to say thank you. Can we get Steel Brain Rot Minecraft Edition? I could definitely think about something like that. From what I understand Steel Brain Rot to be, it's not terrible except for the fact that it's brain rot. The actual gameplay of it, from my understanding, isn't, like, awful. I think. I could be incorrect on that. It's just kind of been what some people have kind of said what they thought it was. I don't know. I'll think about it. I will definitely think about it. I don't know what the gameplay is, to be honest. From my understanding, you have to, like, collect these different types of brain rot creatures. And they're worth, like, a certain amount of, not points, but, like, they're worth something in the game, essentially. And it allows you to get more brain rots, and it allows you to become more powerful. I can actually, like, Google it. You know what? Let's find out. What is Steal a Brain Rot? Steal a Brain Rot is a competitive tycoon-style game released on the Roblox platform in May 2025. Players aim to acquire as many brain rot characters as possible. These characters, based on absurd AI-generated internet memes, often called Italian brain rot memes, generate in-game currency over time. primary mechanic involves a mix of buying characters from a central conveyor belt and, as the name suggests, stealing them from other players' bases. Interaction. The stealing aspect creates a chaotic and competitive environment where players can use items and temporary shields to defend their collections or raid others' bases. Viral clips of children's reactions to having their brain rot stolen have contributed to the game's social media fame. So it's kind of like Minecraft Factions, but if it was brain rot, I think. Who loves welcome on in? Hope you're doing well. Fishing? Yes, we are fishing. We're trying to get another mending book. We got our first one here for the pickaxe, but I want another one so that we can put it on our armor. Squid, yes. We're going down the brain rot rabbit holes now. Interesting. I don't want to go down the brain rot rabbit hole. It was just, we were kind of thinking about what a Minecraft version of Steel Brain Rot would be. So I guess it would basically, for those who don't know Minecraft Factions, it used to be this big game mode. It was like the biggest one at one point in time. You'd get a group of your friends together, you'd jump on the server and make a team. That team would then go and build a base, and in this base you would have different types of farms so that you could make a lot of money. And your goal was basically a lot of these servers, if you were the top team by the end of the season, you would get a special prize of some sort. And then sometimes it was just to be the best. That was the other thing. But the more money you got, the higher up on the leaderboard you got. So the more people would target you because they could steal your money, they could steal your resources, they could break your farms to slow you down. That's kind of what Steal a Brain Rot is in its bare bones sense, you know? It's get this brain rot, it makes money for you, it can be stolen. That was the thing what a lot of people would do, is because you would get different mob spawners in factions, and so there were different tiers to mobs. So for example, iron golems they weren't worth a ton, but they were worth a decent amount. And sometimes they would drop special items, not just iron and pot beads. Base location was also a very valuable thing, so you would want to be in the corner of the world, not in the middle of it, because you only had to defend from two sides. There was a lot of strategies that went into factions. I was not good at it. It was a very... When it wasn't PvP, it was coming online to your entire base being trashed and everything you had being stolen, so you have to go all the way back from zero. If you have friends, it's not terrible. But without friends, it sucks. Factions is great, very much a fad in retrospect, though. That's true. Yeah, I mean, it was a really cool idea. I think execution-wise, it probably wasn't quite there. I was into it when it was more PvP for the custom enchants and mosh pits. Oh man, the mosh pits. Those were fun. Those had a lot of fun potential. I do miss playing some of those old game modes. Like, for example, another one was Minecraft Prisons or Mines. Basically, you would log in, you'd start at the lowest tier, so it would be a pickaxe, a wooden pickaxe. And you'd have to mine stone. That stone could then be sold, and you could eventually buy a better upgrade or buy the next mine, and that mine might have a coal ore, and that coal could be sold, and so on and so forth until you got to the very end where you were mining obsidian or whatever was the biggest and most valuable item on that world, and then you would sell that, try to get the most money you could. But then you could prestige, and prestiging would give you special skills that you could unlock. So you would want to prestige until you were maxed out all your skills. and then try to climb the leaderboard so that you could be the richest player. It was a cool idea, but again, kind of a fad in a lot of senses because it requires an active player base in order for that stuff to be fun, because there's no competition. So the very idea drives competition, but without players already on there to play and try to be the best, it kind of just sucks. And some players, or some of them combined PvP and the mines. So there was one server I remember playing on with one of my friends called Scythe Mine. And so you would be able to PvP people while trying to mine. And if you killed them, you took all of their, all the loot they had on them at that moment. So they would still get their pickaxe and they'd keep their money in their balance. But you take their whatever they mined, whether it be, you know, diamond or redstone or what have you, you know. So you had to be very careful. You had to log on with friends. That was a fun server for the time I played. It was also in the sky, so you knocked people off. There was some strategy to it. It was fun. Squid. Squid. The way custom enchants were implemented added so much strategy in PvP without just being completely overpowered when done right, and that's what I miss. Yeah. I find that a lot of servers, when they add custom stuff, it is, like you said, kind of just overpowered. And I'm not a huge fan of overpowered enchants. There needs to be a good counter to them, which means you have to add another enchant. And if you're just a normal Minecraft player and you just want to play with, you know, your base enchants, I want that to be a viable strategy as well. Oh my goodness, you got away. Okay, I am being told that it is time to start wrapping things up. My issue with prisons was while grinding out, mining like Skyblock, which I wasn't a huge fan of. That's fair. That is fair. Speedy guy for real, dude. Did not want to stop. Let's put you there. That way we get a little extra sugarcane because we need it. Minecraft texture pack is really pretty. Oh, thank you. I'm using complementary reimagined shaders. It's a very good shader pack. I just have the saturation boosted just a smidge so that it pops a little better. But my favorite shader pack by far. Thanks for stream. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. So today we worked on this. It's not much compared to the 2.5 hours that we streamed, but we did this and we fished for a while, which is awesome. A little stat check for you guys. Here is the fishing rod. We have used our fishing rod 3,871 times. So it'll be a little bit before we get our next mending book probably. But it could technically be our next cast as well. Who knows? So we'll hopefully get one of those soon. We'll be doing a whole lot more building in the near future as well.
Hello there.
Thank you, Loves, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Trying to find us somebody to raid. Also, thank you so much. You are my 1,600th follower on the channel, which is wild. Oh my goodness. 1,600 of you guys. Thank you so much. All your support, guys. Thank you. That's awesome. That is so awesome. You guys are crazy. Alright. Wow. Let's go say hi to somebody. Let's see. Let's go say hi to Leroy Tankins. He's just starting his stream. He's a pretty cool dude. I've been able to pop into his stream a couple of times. He's doing some sort of Hunger Games. which is pretty cool. It's an old game mode. We're talking about all sorts of old game modes. Hunger Games needs to come back, okay? Hunger Games, please, somebody bring it back. I would kill for Hunger Games, survival games, whatever you call it. Amazing Minecraft game mode. Alright. Leroy Jenkins. That was absolutely a fad. It was awesome. Okay, it was awesome. Trust me. Alright guys, hop in the raid, get some free channel points, meet a cool streamer along the way. I appreciate you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.